I am so excited to be here today with Ro and Don Palczynski, co-authors of Changing Your Equation.
Thanks so much for having us.
We're excited to be here.
Don, what's your favorite part of this book?
My favorite chapter is the one where we talk about faith, hope, and love and accepting those gifts into your life.
And that's the chapter that we really worked on, reflected on, and there was some advice that said, no, don't go too far with it. And no, that was far too important for us, for our marriage, and the message we had to send and share.
It's very personal to me. My mom was in the hospital, very ill at the time, and I was thinking about these things from the hospital room, and we came back and would write together, and it was a very difficult time. And yet, hope, faith, and love were just the things that were needed at that time.
And I think what's funny is you go to the store, I was in a store, and it was on a shower curtain. Faith, hope, and love. It's so all over the place, and it's beautiful. I have it on the wall in our family room, but yeah, it's got to be more than words. People have to live the faith, the hope, and the love. Put action to it. Make meaning out of it.
Ro, what's your favorite part of this book?
Well, obviously, as we've discussed, the faith, hope, and love, the belief chapter is very, very important. As are the legacy and being your own entrepreneur. I have so many favorites. But I'm going to go to the middle section, the realities. That section of the book was so meaningful because I've seen so many people I've coached, mentored, and even when I was a professor at a local college, they were watching reality TV shows. They were so focused on that they forgot that's scripted. That's not real life. Real life is helping each other and looking to each other for guidance and wisdom. It's not who's going to hurt who and who's going to be angry at who. That's not what this is about. Changing your equation means you need to really look at those realities. And to me, that's a very, very important section of the book.
You shared a lot of personal stories in this book. On a scale of 1 to 10, how scary was that?
10.
It's the scariest part.
It is. It is.
I felt that they were absolutely necessary. That we did not want the book to be academic. We wanted our own personalities and our own experiences to be shared.
And that was something you really advocated for as well. I was even more hesitant, especially at the end of the third section chapters where we really share personal stories. And he's like, no, we are doing this. I feel strongly about it. And that was one of those moments where I had to push, okay, and think about how do we do this. And then we came together and I told him, all right, we'll give it a try. We'll see what people think. And the response has been overwhelming.
So many people have told us that that's their favorite part. The stories are their favorite part.
And we don't think we're that interesting, do we?
My favorite part of the book was when you referred to the inner selfie. Tell me where that concept came from.
You can go onto social media and you will see all these pictures, all these selfies, and you think you really get to know somebody by seeing these pictures, and you don't. You have to know what's on the inside. And we talked about, well, those are outer selfies. What we really are missing in life are inner selfies.
Mm-hmm. And then that was one of those aha moments, and we got all excited and we were talking about it. And then we realized when they take those external selfies, we're not seeing the 20 other pictures that they've thrown away, that they've deleted, getting that perfect shot with the perfect pose and whatever. And so that was a breakthrough moment in that chapter.
In essence, selfies are a very incomplete picture. There is so much more that's not being told.
So we're going to look within and take our inner selfies, but a deep view of what's inside.
Of all the titles you could have picked, why Changing Your Equation?
That goes back to the very beginning. That name for the book has stuck from when we were first talking about writing a book. As the story goes, we were sitting there, and as I asked him, when are we going to get everything that's on our dream list, everything we want to do? And your response was?
Perhaps never. If we don't make some changes, we're not going to have everything that we want.
And it was, like an equation. If you don't change the factors in the equation, the end result is always the same.
We weren't going to reach our ideal future without changing some of the factors in our life.
And then it was easy. We have to change our equation. And once we looked at it in those terms and started to make those changes, the book was born. It was literally just an easy flow to changing your equation.
I noticed throughout the book, you ask the reader to do exercises using worksheets. Tell me about your reason behind that.
There's a story in the cover of the book about a young woman that I knew many, many years ago when I was much younger. And she was a very quiet person. And one day she looked at me and she said, "Do something." And those were wise words. We can become aware of situations in our life, but until we take action and do something, nothing's going to change.
Yeah, we didn't want to write a book that just lectured as if we were in a college lecture hall or even in some of my coaching sessions. We wanted a book where people could really understand how much they could change in their lives by doing it. So we set up, especially the first half of the book, is set up with those key move into action moments, those key exercises, so they can understand, okay, well, I've read about this concept. Oh, here's how I can actually do it. It starts that ball rolling.
Wanting to change is the first step. Actually doing something is what creates results.
One final question. When you drew that line in the sand, did you ever think you would be here today?
Yes, I think so. For us, that line was it was a major decision in our life. One is we could play it safe. We could play it safe, stay in our comfort zone, and accept less out of life. Or we could cross the line in trying to fulfill our full potential.
We took action. We literally drew the line in the sand, held hands, and crossed that line. That was an action moment. It was the first action. We didn't know where it was going to lead, but we knew by doing that, just as we've recommended, you go do your dream day, list everything you want in life. You put it out there, you're going to make it happen. We crossed that line. It was going to happen.
And you hear that phrase often, but we meant that literally. We drew a line in the sand and crossed it together.
Anybody on the beach must have thought we were crazy, but it was a great moment. One of many, many blessed moments.
Yeah.